Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Brother Sister Show, a family owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. This week, we're talking about Livia's favorite movie, her pick, A Clockwork Orange. But before we get into that, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm good. All right, see ya. No kidding. Yeah, I know, I'm good. I had a chill day today. Got my nails done.
Nice.
If you could see it, purple. Yeah, I don't know. That was I went to a new place. That was something new that I've done. Is I went to a new place by myself.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. I get really anxious over just like not of just being at new places. But it wasn't that bad. The guy that did my nails he didn't talk a lot, which I liked. I don't really like to talk during them. Also, he he saw I have like rings on. I have just like a gold one here and then one right here, and he pointed at them and he was like asking like why I wear them, and I was like, "Oh, just cuz." And he was like, "Oh, well, you're supposed to be wearing a ring here." And he was like pointing at my like ring finger. And I said, "Oh, well, I don't not yet."
Well, here's a finger for you, bro.
Right?
That's what you
I don't
should
know.
have
It's
done.
just like, okay. I don't know. It's just very strange.
You need a
But
man.
yeah,
What's happening?
I don't know. Turning into a spinster. Not married yet, but
That's funny.
wild. But I mean, overall, good nail situation. I don't know. I don't know if you ever got your nails done before.
No, I can't say that I have.
It was nice. Yeah, that's what's going on with me. I don't really have anything. What have I been doing? Nothing.
Working,
Yeah,
chilling.
working. We're I don't know if I have talked about this, but we're getting ready to move.
Exciting.
Moving twice during a pandemic. Oh, you too. I don't know if you want to. Sorry if that's doxing you, but we've both
Nah,
moved
that's fine.
twice within the last year.
When is it safe to say that the pandemic is like over? Do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's still happening. I don't
Oh,
fucking
for
know.
sure.
I mean,
There'll be a
I
point for sure, but I'm just curious as to when we'll be like, yeah, it's over.
I
We're
don't
done.
know. And it's like it's kind of I'm scared for the repercussions of moving on too fast. So I think that's why I'm like we're
Yeah.
still in a pandemic because I just a lot of shit going on. I mean, there's so many people died, and I don't want to just. I don't think anybody just wants to just be like, well, okay, But yeah, I don't know. I still it's very strange to. The one nice thing is the Target. That's the only place I go to. I feel like is Target, but the Target that I go to, um, I don't know if you saw on the news. At least I think it's everywhere. I don't know if it's just in Texas, but I'm assuming it's everywhere. Where Target, CVS, like all these places said that if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, but it's like the honor system kind of thing. But I was nervous about that because I still wear masks everywhere. I know you do too. I think everybody I know is still like we just wear masks like wherever we go. I go to more places now, and when I'm at those
Yeah.
places, sometimes if it's distance and I feel safe, then I take them off. But like I still, when I'm out and about, I still wear them. And so I was nervous about that because I just don't know how I feel about people just not wearing them when I see them out. But the Target that I've been to and that I go to all the time, like everybody, I will say, I don't know if I should call them out, but a couple of employees weren't wearing masks. And I mean, I guess it's their right if they're fully vaccinated, but like it just still, it felt so weird. I don't, it
It's
makes me
weird.
uncomfortable. But people, I didn't see one customer that didn't have a mask, which made me feel very good. I really liked
That's
that.
cool. I feel weird. This is gonna sound weird, but I feel weird giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, because like it just still makes me, I mean, if you have taken this is what happening in my brain. I don't want to like push this on people, but in my brain, if you've been taking this seriously this whole time, serious enough to get the vaccine, then you are still going to wear a mask. because you know
Yeah.
that there's vulnerable populations that can't get a vaccine, or that like there's just so much out there that you don't know. And also, truly, it's not bad wearing a mask. I mean, it gets annoying in the summertime, especially in Texas. That gets annoying. But other
Yeah.
than that, honestly, if people were like, if and I'm sure this maybe, I don't know if this will happen, but if if a scientist, the CDC, if somebody was like, hey, you should just wear a mask all the time that you're outside because it's just better for you, then I would fucking do it. I really don't. It's not that bad. I don't know why people complain so much.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that is true. I think it's better for you altogether.
My allergies have, I
So
mean, they still, the other day I went to go get my mail and I forgot my mask and I was like, whatever. But they cut the grass and I came inside and I was like,
mm,
like I was like sneezing. I was just a mess. Um, and I feel like, and I've heard that it helps people with, and it makes sense. It helps you with allergies, and I haven't really gotten that bad of
and asthma.
allergies. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of like that this has, I don't like the word normalize,
Yeah, I was about to say take it easy there.
but no, I like that this has brought. I mean, there's no silver linings in a fucking pandemic, but a good thing, I guess, for my health, um, is the fact that now I have a ton of masks and I feel comfortable wearing them. And I don't know, I like doing that. I don't know, I yeah, I just hope that I keep with that. And I don't see any time, like, especially if you think about it, like, can you imagine ever going on a plane ever again without a mask?
No,
Like, it
it's
just
just
it
a vacuum of just absolute
but do you know
garbage.
what I mean? Like, I the amount of times I would see people with masks before this, it was usually people that are probably very sick and they need to for their own health. But like now, I think I just want to wear them all the time.
There's so many benefits, especially because you're hiding half of your face, so you could
It's
just
like a
like you
comfort.
can cut someone out. You could just like make stupid faces. No one knows if you're smiling or not.
It also just feels
It's
like a
amazing.
comfort, and especially because I'm like, well, if somebody is sick, back then I wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't care, but like now I'm like, well, I'll be fine. I think so, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And another thing, I was just like the benefits to me way outweigh the cons,
yeah.
especially because there's cameras everywhere and just like the facial detection stuff. It's just like
All right.
it's protecting you not only from the virus but from viruses.
Okay. Now you're starting to like sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm serious. They'll protect you.
I don't know. I like
Your
them.
phone won't even know who you are.
I think it's so fucking funny when, well, first, I mean, just the conservatives that like are calling people that wear masks sheep. It's so funny. It's so goddamn funny. It's just so much better for you. Also, it just stop being a fucking baby. It's not that bad. It truly isn't that bad. They sound like fucking idiots. And then did you hear that now they're wearing masks? Like people that are anti-vax are now wearing masks because they they have some theory that people that are vaccinated, that we shed our vaccine and that they
Oh,
can
I saw that.
catch the vaccine. Oh god.
Hey,
It must be so nice to
it
be
helps. It
so
helps us in
dumb.
the
It
long.
must be so
No,
nice to just like
I saw this TikTok where it was like, the vaccine isn't putting a chip in you, it's taking one out. You're like, oh shit, I need that shit immediately. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
somebody like laid out how scary it is that like they just like they refused to wear masks and now they are wearing them because they refused to wear them because they thought they didn't work, and now they're wearing them because they work to prevent getting sheds for I don't
Shards or something like that, right?
it makes my head fucking hurt. But that's it. That's how much I want to talk about masks. I think we've hit our limit. But how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. I turning 21 tomorrow.
Couple of hours
We're recording on Saturday, May 22nd. So shout out to that. I guess
to alcohol.
I can gamble, I can drink,
There you
I
go.
can do it all now.
What are you? Do you? Well, I guess you don't. I was gonna say, do you feel different? But you're not 21 yet.
I feel the
Well, do
same.
you think you'll feel different? I guess tomorrow
Probably
when
not.
you order a drink. That I mean, that is kind of it. I mean, it's not. It's really not that
It's
much
not
of a deal, but
exciting.
I guess it kind of is when you like. There's something when there's something that you're not allowed to do, and then you're finally granted to do it. You're like, whoa. Just like
Yeah,
walking up to a bar. You've never walked up to a bar, right? I mean, maybe at
I
like a
mean, I
wedding or
have to get a
something. Yeah.
water. It'll feel weird. It'll feel almost like the end of a pandemic. It's like I've seen, I've heard of this happening before. I've heard people do this, but I feel guilty. Like I shouldn't be here. Like my
Oh.
whole life, for 20 years of my life, I haven't been able to do
And you know
this.
what's the annoying part is
Um,
if you're socially awkward and you don't like people to know when it's your birthday, like tomorrow when you order drinks, people are going to know.
that's that's I that's
You
annoying.
might get something free.
Hopefully, I love free stuff.
You know?
Um, almost more important, I would say, as equally as
Oh,
important.
forgot about
I
this.
watched Tenet. I watched Tenet.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I watched Tenet, and that made me feel different. My birthday, Tenet. I am a changed
It
man.
probably I think it ages you like 2 years because you're like, what is happening? What the fuck is going on?
That's probably the most research I had to do about a movie.
Yeah.
Um, and like most research to like the research to the knowledge gained about that movie was
The
very low.
ratio.
Or it was, I don't know, like I did a lot of research, but I feel like I have the same understanding of the movie.
That's
Like
always
there's
angering.
a 3D rendering of all of the character, spoiler warning, of like all the characters in their inverted
Oh
selves,
my
like
god.
kind of doing the same. It was just like an overview, because when you watch the movie you get like brief snippets and then it kind of all comes together. um I don't know, I liked it because visually it was amazing. I mean, all of his films I think are, but I feel like you put way too much effort into that and not enough into um
Into story.
explaining
Yeah.
in the story and the
Dialogue?
fucking sound, bro.
Oh my god. The
I
fucking
did
sound.
I did really like, I don't want to talk about the sound. Like it was
Why?
bad. It was just hard to listen. I had to put subtitles
Wasn't
on.
it like I don't know. Okay, I was gonna say this is the most angry I've gotten was watching this movie until I watched A Clockwork Orange. But number two is Tenet. That is truly the most angry I've ever been watching a movie, and I can't imagine how it would have been if I watched it in theaters. I mean, maybe it's better. Maybe that's why he was like like shitting his pants about the theaters not being open.
It's like, oh
Is he's
shit,
like, well,
no one's gonna
everybody
hear
is gonna
anything.
hate my movie because I don't even like it.
Maybe. I could see that.
I guess, but I can't imagine it being better. But oh yeah, we can move on. It's just if
No, I wanted to talk
yeah.
about like the parts that I really liked
Hmm.
is I think the reason I like Christopher Nolan as a director in all of his films, or the ones that I've seen, is because I'll put myself. I mean, I do this for every movie, but when I put myself in the character's perspective, I'd be like, that's amazing, or it's just like a really cool, like the story, the way it like ends. I think is really cool. Like the part that I was like, whoa, bro, was when Robert Pattinson's character Neil was like, this is the end of our relationship, but the beginning for you. Like that to me, I like kind of pondered that after, and it was like, that's cool.
See,
That's cool.
but that's my thing. I mean, I appreciate that you don't want to talk about the sound, but I feel like it's such a big
It's
problem.
so loud.
Well, it's such a big problem because when that happened, I like it happened, and I feel like I looked at Sebastian. I was like, "Wait, what is going on?" And we had to rewind it because I was like, "Wait, so he knows him? Like what?" I it just the whole time, like I lost that moment of I didn't even realize that was a thing until, like you said, I researched it, and I shouldn't
Right.
have to
Okay.
research to find that out. But I mean, maybe it's because of me, but I doubt it. Like I just I did like that moment too. I liked the moment where I think he found out that he was there, or that like there was some sort of like there was like a
Yeah.
backpacker. I don't know.
And
Fucking know.
oh yeah, when
Oh,
he's
when
in
he
the car
realized
in
that he
between,
was at the end, he realized he was like at. I don't fucking know. I don't remember it.
he was the one who made the organization Tenet,
Who?
the protagonist.
If that's true.
His name was the
Well, I know
protagonist.
that, but if that's true, this is news to me.
It's just so like mind-boggling because it not only like there's a whole inversion of time, but also like going back in time. So
Yeah, I mean, I think
like Neil's character was from the future, and he came back in time or went back in time to like kind of start stuff. I don't know. It's
I do like the moment when he's like, "I'm the protagonist." Like he literally says that in the movie. That
yeah.
made me laugh a lot. Oh, but there was one scene that I talked about a while back. But do you remember the scene when they were planning like their first? It was like a heist, and they were planning it. Like the sound is an issue throughout, but the most egregious part of the sound being so bad was that part where they were talking about what they were doing with that one guy. Remember, it was like going through what's gonna happen, and they were talking to some guy. They like went to this
With
guy so he could. I forgot who it was. Some actor that I think I know, but I forgot his name.
Aaron Kick-Ass,
What?
the main character in Kick-Ass. No.
I don't even fucking know. Was he in this movie? No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, not that one. It was
Oh.
at the airplane, the hangar, like before they were doing that thing.
Oh.
Do you remember when they were
The guy in
planning it?
yesterday.
Yes, exactly. And they were planning it, and that entire scene that they were planning what they were gonna do. I couldn't hear a fucking word they were saying. It was that like it was bad during that scene. I was like, it was so fucking loud. I hopefully, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, you might get striked for this, but I think you should just try to include some of that scene into the video essay, because we, or I don't know if you, maybe not the video essay, but just watch it again. It's insane. I'm sorry, I'll stop talking about the sound, but it just, that's what I mean, where like I could, if a movie is good, I mean it's made by humans, so it's going to be flawed, but if one element is so badly done that you can, it like bleeds into not knowing the plot, not even remembering that his name was Neil, like all these things, if it's causing you to not even remember or to be interested in that, then I think that's bad storytelling. But sorry, continue
Yeah.
please.
That's all I really had to say. I just thought some of the plot was cool, but
I wish they would have done a rewrite or something, like another pass at that script, and I think it would have been better.
right, honestly, yeah. I don't know. I was extremely confused when she was explaining everything. I was watching it by myself, but I was like, am I supposed to know?
That's what the entire time. The entire time I
Because
was looking at Sebastian, I was like, "Do you understand what's happening? Like, am I dumb?" Like, this movie had, sometimes in movies, I'll ask myself that all the time, where I'm like, am I dumb, or does this movie not make sense? I feel like I asked Sebastian that question like 10 times watching that movie. 10, 10 it. There you go.
10-10.
But yeah, I just kept asking myself, like, am I supposed to know? Like, am I supposed to understand what she just said? Or am I
Yeah, like I
stupid?
didn't know what a inverted material was. How he just immediately knew how to do
Yeah,
this
that's,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. And the first time he did it was like in a car chase scene. What? Also, where is he from? Who is that guy? Is he military? The protagonist?
CIA.
Oh.
And then he was being the heist thing that they did in the opera, like after when they like gave him the pill and all that, it wasn't a real pill. They were just testing him to see if he would be good for the organization.
See, that I was like, does that tie into anything? And then the thing after that, where him and Robert Pattinson just like scale a building for no reason, like there was no
That was
part. It was
cool.
cool, but like, why did they do that? It just seemed like they could have just taken the elevator.
No, because they were it was like heavily guarded. They did that because the weapon came from or the firearm that was shot, the inverted one. I don't. We don't have to get into this.
And then my favorite part was whenever he like went up there. Didn't he go up there and he thought it was the husband, but she was like, he doesn't know anything. You need to talk to
Man ain't
me.
shit, bro.
It's a
Yeah,
good
that was
bro
funny.
story, I guess. Bromance. I mean, turn into a romance is my note, but um, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they try to set it up for another movie, but please, if Christopher Nolan is listening to this, which I know he probably is, please, for the love of God, don't make another one of those, please. Please don't
He's
do it.
like he's on the Spotify or Simplecast, and he's just F5, F5, F5. Just refreshing, waiting. Wednesday, 11:59. He's like, when's another brother sister show? I want to hear what the
He's
hell
like,
they have to
what
say
other
about my movie.
Tenet shit are they gonna try to tell me? I mean, we do
Uh,
have new listeners from the UK. That's him.
cheers, bruv.
But for real, please don't do it again. Please leave us alone. How dare he?
That's all I got.
I'm glad you saw it, I guess. I don't know. Wait, what did I
Yeah,
make you
I'm
watch
glad I
last
saw it.
time?
Oh, oh my gosh, I almost forgot. The Bodyguard.
Oh, please. What did you think?
Uh,
You didn't like it?
why? It wasn't. I didn't find it to be. Is Kevin Costner really that like? Is he? Do you find him attractive
Yes.
like that? Oh, I don't know. I was like, in what world is
I
Whitney
mean,
Houston?
back in the day, maybe. Well, yeah. I mean,
Um,
if the question is he out of if she out of his league? 100%, yeah.
yeah, that's what kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, but
I was like, there's no way, bro.
I don't know. But I think that's the charm of it. That's the cute. That's what I love about it. It's that the what is not odd couple, but like the what you wouldn't expect. Like, and it's
Against all
I
odds.
know against all odds. And I just like that he's like very strict. He's it's just like that opposites attract thing that I really like.
I guess I had no idea what it was about, and just like the whole Oscars thing, like I was just imagining that happening, like
Right? Isn't that wild?
now, just the gun, like
Mhm.
the camera gun, was very interesting, and the way that whole scene, that like sequence of him looking at the camera guy, but also like just that back and
Mhm.
forth it was a weird edit,
Yeah.
and
I don't know. I love that
but
movie. What do you think about the music though? Of course that's the music's good.
yeah, I mean that's good.
I can't believe you don't like their matching together. Come on. The son was
I
so
don't.
cute.
Son was cool. Sister was, I mean, she's the antagonist, but I feel like I totally missed when she died.
Who?
The sister.
Wait, did I miss something
I
too?
don't know. I feel like
What sister?
I just like blinked and she died.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
Rachel.
Rachel.
She dies at the cabin. Rachel's sister. Rachel is Whitney Houston's
Yeah.
character.
The sister dies at the cabin? No, she doesn't.
She gets shot at. I'm pretty sure, doesn't she? Because they have like the funeral scene after he misses because he's like he has his eyes closed because of the smoke or whatever, and he's like, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh. I need to
And then they
watch
go
it
to the
again because I don't
funeral.
remember that. Wild.
Am I losing?
No, you're
Am I
probably
losing my
right. I haven't
mind?
seen it in a long time. Aren't you? But are you glad you've seen it though? Now you know what all the chatter's about.
I've literally never heard this movie before. I've never
Now
heard
you
anything
know.
about it.
You're like every time somebody brings it up, you can be included in the conversation.
The Citizen Kane
Don't
of romantic.
ever fucking slander the bodyguard like that. There's a movie. There's a modern one that you might like called fuck. What is it called? I already forgot. Shit, I
Yeah, the
forgot.
hitman breaks into the dark house and fatally shoots Nikki. I feel like I completely missed it.
Oh, I guess I did too because I don't remember that at all. Interesting. Just I don't know. I like that movie a lot. And you know what? Fuck
I
you.
feel
How about that?
fair enough.
Now you can know.
All right, well,
You can add some sort of commentary to the, bodyguard discourse that's going on randomly.
I'm gonna make a like top 21 things I learned under 21, and the 21th one will be
21th. Wow. Did you do that on purpose? Holy shit. The 21th. Wow.
I was gonna say
That was
20th,
the scariest
but
thing that's ever happened on this podcast. Is you saying the 21th.
wow. What is it? 21st? Oh my gosh.
Holy
We
shit.
gotta cut to the break. I need some water. I
Okay.
need more
All right.
water. All right. We'll be back.
In the future, a sadistic gang leader is imprisoned and volunteers for a conduct aversion experiment that doesn't go as planned in A Clockwork Orange. Directed by Stanley Kubrick. I can never say his name right. Based on the novel by Anthony Burgess. Screenplay by Stanley Kubrick. Jesus.
Is it Kubrick or
Kubrick? Is
Kubrick?
it Kubrick?
Kubrick.
I
Stanley K.
don't know. Stan. Starring Malcolm McDowell, Patrick McGee, and Michael Bates. Whoa, did you hear that?
No.
My
What happened?
stomach growled. Let's ignore it. Sorry.
Oh. A Clockwork Orange came out on December 17th, 1971. What a year. Other movies that came out on the same day
Okay.
were The Hospital and Walkabout.
Classics.
I remember The Hospital.
Should have picked those
Highly
instead.
acclaimed. Critics gave it an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 77% on Metacritic.
Too high. All right.
So go for it.
Am I gonna go first? Yeah, I'll go
Yeah, it's
first.
your movie.
Because I
You
forgot what
picked.
yours is. Okay, so I okay. So I was gonna do kind of an explanation of this movie, but I I kind of did, not really, but anyways, I found some information about the book that it's based on. And the credit for this research is to Britannica. So shout out
Shout
to
out.
them. But disclaimer, I do want to say this, that just because you have to look up what a movie means does not mean you're not smart. And it also does not mean inherently that the movie is bad. I'm going to be complaining about this movie a lot, but yeah, I don't know. I hear that all the time where people are like, well, if I don't get it as soon as it's done, then it's not good. I disagree with that. I think there's some things that a lot of people are not privy to. Like the first thing that comes to mind is Mother. That has so much, because it's an allegory, so it has so much religious context that I didn't know. But as soon as I learned about it, I was like, oh, this is great. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like good movies or movies that are made well will only, I guess, appreciate after conducting research,
exactly. And that's
or at least in
why,
my experience.
yes, that's what I challenge people to do, is if you don't understand a movie, don't just say it's bad just because you don't understand it, but do some research, and then hopefully if it is good, or if you do like it, then like you said, you're going to enjoy it more than hate it. Because nobody's going to know everything. I mean, after WandaVision, every single episode I had to research shit cuz I was like, "What?" But
Yeah,
anyways,
and I get why people say that too, because like a lot of people watch movies just to escape from the real world, and they want
yeah.
to just go into a world and fully have everything explained to them, which I get.
And movies, I mean, from my experience of watching movies that were made and released in the 70s, this is kind of a theme where I feel like a lot of stuff happens and I'm like, huh? And like, I remember after The Shining, which is another movie
Mm.
that I didn't understand, and I did some research and I appreciated it more, but I still also didn't like that movie. But yeah, I hate this idea that because so many movies that are made now, I feel like they package exactly what the themes and what the movie is about. And so people are not used to being able to do that anymore. And so it just makes me mad when people are just like, outright just don't like it. But I mean,
Yeah.
you do you. It doesn't matter.
They're
It
yeah,
doesn't
they're
affect me.
all movies are a sign of the times, and they're gonna change.
Exactly.
And
All right, so just a
carry on.
little bit about the novel. This is the only real research that not real research because I did some sort of research, but the research that I wanted to talk to you about. So, A Clockwork Orange, like we said, is a novel of the same name by Anthony Burgess, published in 1962. Set in a dismal dystopian England, it is the first person account of a juvenile delinquent who undergoes state sponsored psychological rehabilitation for his aberrant, oh god, I don't know that word, behavior.
Aberrant.
Aberrant.
I
Oh
don't know.
god,
I just said,
Anthony. Not only did you
bro.
say it, but you made me say it.
I didn't make you do anything, bro. I just right before the break, I said
Yeah,
21.
I know. Well, this novel, the novel satirizes extreme political systems that are based on opposing models of the perfectibility or incorrigibility of humanity. Which I understood that part of it. And I guess I understand that it's a satire, but I feel like a lot of people now use that as an excuse to like, well, you can't criticize this, it's a satire. So if you don't like it, you just didn't get it. You know, I hear that all the
Yeah,
time. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but just there's that. Written in a futuristic slang vocabulary invented by the author. I will say I did like the slang a lot. I liked the how they spoke. I thought that was kind of fun. And I also love the costumes and the set design. Those are two things that I
yeah.
really liked about this. Especially, apparently they worked with a really small budget, movie wise.
It was like 2 mil.
Yeah, which movie wise very small. On what they did with it, that's very impressive. So those are my two
Yeah.
compliments for this movie. Um, oh, but it was made. So this slang was made in part by adapting Russian words. Um, and his most oh what oh this was his most original and best known work. But sorry, so the Russian words, how he did that, I don't know exactly how he did because he's a linguist. So like there's probably a lot of like theory and stuff involved, but he just like fused it with I think Cockney slang or something like that. But that's how he did that because a lot of the words I was like maybe I just don't because I know what Cockney slang is, so I thought it was that, and I just wasn't like privy to what that meant. But apparently, no, I shouldn't know because he just invented this. Um, and so the novel is similar to the movie, very similar in that they both in their story obviously, but they both also had very mixed reviews when they were released. A lot of people complained about the violence and language, and others did say that while it did have all of this, it did raise a lot of good questions like, is it better for a person to decide to be bad than to be forced to be good, or is forcibly suppressing free will acceptable? The big difference between the movie and the book, though, is that the movie leaves out the last chapter. So, in the final chapter of the original British edition, Alex has grown tired of violence, and after seeing an old friend who has left the gang, he renounces his amoral past. This chapter, which some consider unconvincing, was removed when the novel was first published in the United States. So, in this chapter, he essentially just has a normal life with a wife and kids.
And I remember reading this about this, and in the book, there's 21 chapters, specifically because in what's his name?
Alex? Oh,
Anthony's experience, he said that by the time a man reaches 21, they've grown into the person that they're gonna become.
holy shit. Is that real? That's
Yeah.
scary.
So he mentions it in the, I think in the introduction or something. I read that, I was like,
How do you
bro,
feel about that? I
tomorrow's my
know.
birthday. I was like, I was it like it took me in a weird spiral where I was like, am I proud of who I am right now? It was
Yeah,
really
but then
weird,
look
but
at the
I
character
just
he
think it's
wrote.
a
So
I'm
there's that.
just comparing myself. Like I haven't done any of that, so I'm good. But it was just really weird the timing of like everything. Just because I'm
Also, that
turning,
he's, yeah,
it's my 21st birthday tomorrow.
21st. Oh my God.
But
I should have got you like a card, but like cross out ST and put TH. Jesus Christ. Okay. So I guess I can just go directly, unless you want to do your fun facts, but I think that would be a fun way to end it.
Yeah, we'll end it on
Okay,
that.
so
So
the only thing, which it will be fun, I guess, for you to try to do a video essay about, I hated this movie. I didn't enjoy any part of it except for the set design and the like slang. Um, but yeah, so like we said before, usually explanations of movies make me like them a bit more, or at least appreciate them at the very least. But every article I read, every video essay I watched, which this was, I mean, I am not great at, I don't think either of us are great at preparing for these, but this was the first time I like read, I don't even, maybe like 10 articles, and then I watched like 2 or 3 videos because I just didn't, because we were doing a video essay, I don't want to just copy them. But after all of those, I still couldn't stand this movie, and I couldn't stand what they were saying about it. Like every single thing, I was like, what? Like somebody, I think I have a note about this, but somebody mentioned that, oh well, he Alex likes Beethoven, which is his only redeeming quality. And I was like, liking music is a redeeming quality
and
when
it's
you're a
never really
rapist?
explained why.
What? Yeah, exactly. They don't explain why he likes him. They don't, like, how is that a redeeming quality? Anyways, so yeah, I just still, all of it, like watching the movie, reading about it, it all gave me a headache. It true, like it literally gave me a headache. And so here are a couple of reasons why this movie, I I mean, if you like it, obviously a ton of people like this movie. So whatever, but this is why it's not for me. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, you can let me know. I mean, I love talking about movies. My opinion is never going to be solid. Like maybe after this conversation I'll like it a little bit more, but as it stands, not for me. First is the satire bit. My question is, where is it? What is the satire here? So I even found the definition of satire. So it is the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. All right, I get that, right? What I don't understand exactly is, what are they satirizing here? And I think maybe it's my confusion is just how all over the place the plot feels for me. Because, like, is it toxic masculinity? At first I thought that's what it's about, and how it ruins every part of our world, including politics. Oh my god. But if so, then I was like, okay, maybe I don't completely hate this movie, because I did like for instance, I like the fact that the, what do they call them, the grogs, like his gang friends,
Droogs.
droogs, was it droogs?
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty sure.
I did like the fact, and it made me laugh a lot, that whenever he got out of prison, that they turned into policemen. I thought that was very funny.
Mm, that was
And that's
hilarious.
when I was like, okay, so maybe that's what this is about. But I don't know. And also, if it's about government's control over us and how scary it could become in a dystopia, why on earth would you want to tell that story this way? I don't understand that at all. And but you
Yeah.
know what? Maybe just that one snippet that you just said probably explains it all to me, and why I don't like this movie. Of you saying that he thinks that when a man turns 21, that's how he knows who he is. Because he's centering this entire story just on men,
Yeah.
which what? Anyways, um
Well, I just wanted to quickly say, after you read the definition of satire, specifically the part about talking about people's stupidity, it just made me think of the part where, like, a lot of the scenes where I feel really long and didn't need to be, but I feel like specifically where he meets with, I guess it was his lawyer or his
oh, it's like a parole officer. I think they
yeah,
called him a
parole
social
officer.
worker.
Okay. And he was like, the way he was speaking,
Oh my god,
ah, my boy, yes.
my boy,
Like, kind of like that.
yes, my boy, and he just grabbed his dick. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Like that part I could kind of see, just in the stupid way he was speaking, just the whole
But again, my
yes.
question, what are you trying to say then?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things he could have been going for, and that's the thing. I don't know because I feel a similar way, but after doing research, it's kind of made me not necessarily like, but appreciate what this movie does. Um, is I don't know whether or not to criticize our boy Stan, Mr. Kubrick, or the actual author
Mm.
for these unnecessary things that I'm sure you'll get into a little bit
And
more
also,
because it is just an adaptation.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to just. I don't want to. I see what you're saying. I don't want to just brush off his part in it, though. Stan's part in it,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
there's obviously the movie's about free will, so he could have chosen not to do this movie. But
Yeah, and
either
yeah, a
way,
lot of people were involved in making it, and
exactly.
yeah,
And my whole thing too is it's from what I can tell, it seems like the most people that that first of all, it's one of those movies with that anger me so much where if you say any part of I don't like it, like cuz I think when we started this episode I was like or when we started this call I said I think this might be the one if people are ever going to be angry at one of us, I think this might be the one because in my research anybody on like Reddit or anywhere that is questioning this movie or being like, was that necessary or is this even good or I don't get it? They're like, well, because you don't understand it. You're probably just stupid or like it's like so people care so much about this movie and get
it's
so
weird.
angry, and I'm like, I mean, I get being that way over movies, but like this one, I don't know. And also, just I don't like the whole like the fact that it was called a satire because it feels like to me this is a modern day problem, I feel like. But when somebody does something stupid or offensive and they get called out on it, they use satire as the explanation. Where they're like, "Oh, but that was like a video or like a joke and it doesn't go well." They're like, "Oh, but it's satire, so if you don't understand it, then that's not my fault."
Yeah, it's just like a crutch for
Yeah, I
them
feel like
to use.
that's what exactly what this movie was doing. Where any time somebody online calls this movie out for something, they're like, well, it was a satire, so you're kind of dumb for being offended by it. Like, or that whole excuse of, um, I just lost it. But yeah, it basically that of like this
I get
movie
what you're
that
saying.
you can't criticize this movie because it calls itself a satire. Okay, like I don't know. Maybe I can't. I can still be offended by this movie. Maybe I can't blame people for me being offended, but it's weird that people are like so upset when people are like, I don't. This wasn't for me because I don't know why they did that. But yeah, but again, the amount of times I read, and I read this multiple times in reviews, and I saw it in some videos that like explaining the whole Beethoven thing is Alex being like that was his redeeming quality where
The man's got taste.
yeah, like what? Okay. Ugh, I don't know. And another thing is offering up violence is in our nature as an explanation for Alex being the way he is such a dumb and dangerous thing to put into a movie, especially when you don't challenge it. Like I feel like that was just an idea, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I missed something, but I feel like that was an idea that was presented and that was constantly talked about, but nobody was ever like, but maybe you shouldn't do that. You know, like it just felt so weird because like I like the idea that this movie does want to criticize the police state and mind control or censorship and how dangerous that can be, but I just still for the life of me cannot figure out how boobs and rape have to do anything with that.
Yeah,
Like what?
I think I think there's so many ways to tell a story. I don't know if this is necessarily the right way. I mean, it would be a completely different movie, but it just feels unnecessary.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I hope one of my notes is I hope to God that when people in this movie describe Alex's need to assault women as quote in his violent nature, that's the satire that I'm not understanding, because otherwise that's so scary that it's in a movie and that it's reinforcing things that men actually think. Like I think maybe it's just watching. I mean, I will give it the benefit of the doubt that, or not benefit of the doubt, but like I'll excuse some of it because it was released in the 70s. But just hearing that constantly as a woman in today's world is very scary, because because men actually think that it's in a man's nature to want to do that. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
well, there's a one fun fact I'll give before it's like this movie. A lot of people say it was banned in the UK, but it was actually pulled
From
by
Stan.
Kubrick because there was some copycat um, events that took place. I don't want to get into
But we
specifics
can
because it's kind of.
imagine.
I mean, yeah, you can imagine just based on
And
the movie.
that's what we mean by, I think people are always like, well, why do you get mad when like it's reflecting the world we live in today? But is it? I mean, if it is,
Yeah, it
is
kind of
that
incited some
exactly? And
some
also we need
violence.
to, like, it's so annoying to me that we're not being, when artists make something, they're not being critical, or when you can't be like critical about it. And you can't, like, if this was a,
Because it's satire.
exactly, or you, because people are still going to take it fucking seriously. And I don't know, it just, I could already see this, and as somebody who I think I can be very like I can be a critical thinker, and I can be like, I feel like I'm intelligent, and I watched this movie and I truly thought, oh well, this guy, this whoever made this movie thinks that women should, this is what women should be subjected to. And if I think that, I can't imagine what other people do. So I'm not surprised that that happened, honestly. And I think it's a good
Yeah.
call for him to pull it. And I mean, I'll give him credit for that. But that's another thing about this movie, is the way that it treats women is horrendous. And again, if this is the satire, okay, I didn't get it, but I see I see why why they got away with this in the 70s, but I don't really care to see women as furniture with boobs in films, like literally
Literally
or
objects.
figuratively. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking hate this movie. It just feels like bad storytelling. I think that's the big thing for me, is that I don't I don't want to like police what people can put in their films, but if you're doing something dangerous like that and it doesn't even amount to any sort of good storytelling, then what is, like you said, what is the point in it? I don't understand. And when you have to use the suffering of women to uphold a very thin and very uninteresting story, it's just really insulting. Because again, I mean, the only thing that is great in this movie to me, well, I will say, I'll add one more thing to that list of the setting and the or the set design and the dialogue, is that Malcolm McDowell, he's very good in this movie, very very good. But yeah,
Yeah.
hated it. Anyways, and I when I was doing research, because I could only find at first people that love this movie, and I read that and I was like trying to understand and trying to be like, maybe it's just me, but every time I was like, yeah, I still don't like it. But I did find Roger Ebert, a very very famous critic, rest in peace, he also hated this movie. And his review made me just feel very seen. And so I put a couple
Very
of, yeah,
validated.
and so I put a couple of quotes, because he put into words exactly how I felt, especially about the use of sexual assault in this movie. So he said, quote, Alex is violent because it is necessary for him to be violent in order for this movie to entertain in the way Kubrick, why can't I say his name? In the way the director intends. Alex has been made into a sadistic rapist, not by society, not by his parents, not by the police state, not by centralization, and not by creeping fascism? Fascism,
Fascism.
but by the producer, director, and writer of this film, Stanley Kubrick. Directors sometimes get sanctimonious and talk about their creations in third person, as if society had really created Alex, but this makes their direction into a sort of cinematic automatic writing. Ooh, amazing. No, I think Kubrick is being too modest. Alex is all his. And so that's the scary part, where they thought of this. They thought of all of these things. That's what makes me that's what gives me pause. And I also saw this one comment on Reddit that really summed up why I hate this movie so much. And this is somebody that's complimenting the movie. So they say, I won't say who it was, but just know that this is a real person on Reddit. The film is, this is quote, the film is saying that even if choices you make are terrible, heinous crimes like the rape and violence that Alex and his gang have committed, it is still better to choose poorly than to have no choice at all. In a nutshell, the film is advocating for free will, and that free will is important above all because its existence makes us humans. You know what also makes us humans? Is caring about each other. And
Yeah,
why is that not being, I just don't understand. Again, why tell that story in this way? Why?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like there's so many different ways to say. I feel like there's so many other books that advocate
Well,
for free
and
will.
also in this same movie, if you cut out all of the violence, I mean maybe not all the violence, but the violence against women, the movie is still telling you this, like the prison, the only stuff that was actually interesting to me was when he gets into prison and when he does the, like, all of that stuff. That was interesting because I was like, oh, these doctors are strange. The whole like Beethoven of it all, where they're like, I thought they did it on purpose, but they're like, oh well, I mean, it's, what did he say? He was like, it's just, I mean, it kind of just happened, so whatever.
Yeah,
But it just, like, that is interesting. Why would you need the other stuff? And I think that's what people's issues
yeah,
are, is that you're telling a good story here, but the violence and like the assault and the like abusing of women, like that just, it just felt so unnecessary because it didn't
yeah.
serve the story in any way. Honestly, it distracted from it to me.
I could see the argument being, well, you need Alex to be, you need to make his crimes as heinous as possible, but it's like that
But
that it doesn't need to go that far. I think actually
yeah,
just murdering someone
but that's
is
what I,
heinous enough.
exactly, and that's what I mean of like, you could just start the movie from, I mean, I don't know, you could, I think you could also have a commentary about our society in that way without talking about just one person. Because another thing is, you're presenting this really interesting setting, this really interesting dystopian world, and I feel like I know nothing about it. And it felt so
That's
interesting and
true.
so cool, and I was like, okay, but now I have to like look at this fucking idiot. Like what? I don't know. It's so if somebody could tell, I
Yeah.
mean, if somebody could tell me that when they find the point of this movie, if they know what it is, please let me know, because I truly, I don't understand it. And another thing is that it's just so boring. With all of those things that we said, all of these heinous things. Also, sorry if this is like, I mean, if this is the episode you don't want to listen to, great, you don't have to. um you have all the welcome in the world to just turn this off. But anyways, there's, with all of those things that are happening, there's nothing that captivated me about this movie. And not even the cool sets or the soundtrack could hold my attention for that long, really. And I have to add another Ebert quote because it made me laugh harder than anything in this movie could ever make me laugh. But he said, quote, in addition to the things I've mentioned above, things I really got mad about, A Clockwork Orange commits another, perhaps even more unforgivable artistic sin. It's just plain talky and boring. You know there's something wrong with the movie when the last third feels like the last half.
That's kind of true.
It is so, like, it just feels like the dialogue is just never ending. And
Uh,
honestly, when I learned that the author was a linguist, I was like, oh, okay, that's why there's so much goddamn talking in this movie.
there a lot of the scenes just linger
And not even in a
just
fun
to a
way, like a
fault.
cool way.
Like the whole one where he meets the social worker, that was extremely long.
Yeah.
The um when he goes back to meet his parents, that was unnecessarily long. And specifically when he gets beat up by the cops and he
Oh,
gets like almost drowned,
I had to look away.
that was really
When
long.
I, no,
And
sorry, I thought the interrogation when he spit on him, that disgusted. I couldn't look at that, and it held on it
and he
for
just
so long.
no, yeah. There's plenty of examples that I could think of,
Yeah.
but those are just ones that stand out.
Exactly. And my last point is that maybe I will give some sort of levity, I guess, but maybe this movie is just not for me, which is fine. I don't,
Yeah.
I would never, I think this is just what I took from the movie. if you liked it, I mean, I'm not judging you for that. I'm sure there's a lot of good things to like about this movie. It just was not for me. And I can understand that some people might find a lot of meaning and symbolism in movies like this, but for me, like I said, it just feels like I just don't really like movies that feel like they just want to be controversial or stylish for the sake of being just that. um it's just really hard for me to see any sort of meaning in it, and even after consuming so much content that is explaining just what this movie means, I still don't really get it. And I, like you said, or like we've been saying, I don't really understand why the story was needed to be told this way. And I mean, obviously, movies that are controversial for just controversy's sake. There's a lot of movies like that I can think of where I'm like, I just don't like this because it just feels like it's being gross for no reason. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like gory movies that are just gory for the sake of it. I don't like stylish movies that are just stylish for the sake of it. And what I mean by that is like, this might be another controversial one, but the new Blade Runner, the Blade Runner 20 whatever,
2049.
that movie just felt like it was like a fucking perfume ad, like a 2 hour perfume ad. It just felt like it looked really cool,
I haven't seen it.
but just send me an email of all the stills, and I feel like I could have gotten the same thing. And that's just like,
That's funny.
yeah, I don't know. But that's what I mean by like overly stylish just for the sake of that. Those aren't interesting to me because
Yeah.
the story's so flimsy. Yeah.
I can see that. I think just to add on just some things that I kind of just developed, I think. I really like this. The one thing I do like about this movie is I think it experimented a lot with the different shots, and
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Citizen Kane. Like I hate that movie. It's so boring. Like, but it did a lot for movies at the time.
Oh, I'm
You
sure
know,
if I
like
watched
you.
this movie back in the day, I may have a different opinion, but I can't get in that mindset. So,
Yeah, I think more technically, like
hmm,
the scene I can think of in Citizen Kane is where he's on the typewriter, you know, and the other guy comes up and he fires him.
yeah,
And this one I could just think of a bunch of
yeah,
shots that I think were cool for at the time, but the plot and
yeah.
just one interesting thing I just realized right now is just the men of everything is in this movie is all the men who were victims get retribution,
Hmm.
but none of the women do.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's weird to think of how that might have, or just reflects how that happens in real life. How women don't really,
Well, the
or the
first thing
majority of
is
the
that
time.
even the one that I mean, I guess you could kind of argue that the woman he murdered did, but he only got 14 years and then he was able to get out.
Yeah,
So
in
even
two.
then, yeah,
Well, 14 years for a murder is kind of like, bro, what?
that's what I mean. Like, that's like
Yeah,
nothing. He took somebody's life
yeah,
and he gets 14 years taken away from his. And even after that, he got out.
yeah. Well, all right.
But that's
That's
the explanation
well,
of why I hate this movie. But I'm excited because I didn't look at. Oh, I guess you can explain what you're going to talk about.
yeah. I'm just gonna talk about the fun facts. I wanted to talk about more of the technical aspect, like the shots, but I was reading some of the fun facts on IMDb. I don't think they have one called fun facts. I think it was just like trivia.
Trivia, yeah.
Um, but they're wild. It's like the most wild
I'm
trivia
excited because I
section
did
of
not look
any
at
movie.
them. So I don't know what you're going to be talking about.
So you talked about like having to look away for the spit part. I had to look away for when his eyes were clamped open.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So Malcolm McDowell's eyes were, or he was given anesthesia for those scenes, so he could film for periods of time. Because Stanley Kubrick's known for
Oh, yeah,
taking many takes, right?
yeah. He's
Um,
like, what's his face?
so
The guy that made
we talked about it. I
Social
don't
Network.
remember.
Not Lynch. What's his name? David Fincher. Takes
Yeah,
so many takes.
yeah.
Wow.
So he was given anesthesia for that, so he could do it without like too much discomfort. But nevertheless, his corneas got repeatedly scratched by the metal lid locks. I, for some reason, when I watch movies and I see gore, like I see someone get stabbed or if I see someone's eyelids get opened, it's just I feel like it's happening to me, and I have to like hold the part or like just like comfort it. It just ah. Or when the thing I hate the most is when people's fingernails get pulled out in movies. I just
Mm,
like ooh. And more on that scene, the doctor standing over Alex giving them the eye drops is actually um a real
I
doctor.
figured, yeah.
Just to make sure that his eyes didn't dry up.
Wow.
But yeah, he during that scene he scratched one of his corneas and was temporarily blinded, and he suffered cracked ribs during the filming of the humiliation stage show. So Malcolm McDowell went through stuff
For
during
this
filming,
movie?
and even more. So that the snake, Basil,
Hmm.
was introduced by Kubrick when he found out Malcolm McDowell had a fear of reptiles.
What the
The
fuck?
stated purpose The stated purpose was to make McDowell's character seem more intimidating, but secondarily, it functioned as a practical joke by Kubrick. I just an ass move. Like, why would you do
Wow.
that to the
Holy
star, I
shit.
guess, of your movie?
And he like made this movie without this movie or without that performance.
I had no idea he was in this. I mean, I knew the only thing I knew about this movie
Sorry,
was
kill the bug. Sorry.
the opening sequence,
I knew
like where he's wearing
nothing
one
about
eyelash
this
or
movie.
whatever. I just knew that still.
Mm.
So now more a little bit more on just like the behind the scenes more about the actual like
Hmm.
footage. So according to Malcolm McDowell on the commentary track from the DVD release in 2007, the sped up sex scene was originally filmed as an unbroken take lasting 28 minutes. And it wasn't another one, but I didn't copy it, but Kubrick was trying to cut him off, but he just kind of went as long as possible, and he kind of like ad libbed, like improvised them going back into bed,
Oh.
and he was like trying to tell him to cut it, but he just was having fun with it, I guess.
Uh,
Really weird. And so
okay.
Kubrick had his assistant destroy all unused footage. I don't know how, but he had him
Of this
destroy it.
movie or of that
It's
scene?
of just the movie,
Okay. That's
which is
scary.
yeah a little scary because like what the hell was on that?
The poor
You need to
assistant.
burn
And
this.
you know they weren't they weren't getting paid enough.
No, not at all. And if I were the assistant,
Oh, pocket that
I would
shit.
have
Yeah.
saved it and released it later after
Sell for
you
money.
bit the dust. Okay, and then the first cut before hiring several assistant editors ran for almost 4 hours. Can you believe
Fuck you,
that?
Stan.
Four
Fuck you.
hours.
Is he dead?
I believe
Oh,
so.
well.
Um. Oh, he out of the 11 adaptations that Stanley Kubrick has worked on in his career,
11?
this is the most. Yeah, I guess I think The Shining is a book now.
Did you do The Shining?
Oh my god.
No, no matter.
I
No
think so.
wonder I didn't like this one.
Didn't he do The Shining?
Probably. Stephen King didn't even like the. It feels like nobody likes his adaptations because I feel like or I don't know about this guy
Yeah, it
because I think
is.
Stephen
He did
King
do The
didn't like
Shining.
how he did The Shining.
Did you not know that he did The Shining?
I mean, I now, yeah, it makes sense now. I guess if you would have asked me, well, who directed it, I wouldn't have had an answer for you. Well, now it
Oh,
makes sense why I don't like that one either.
okay. Well,
Oh, that you know what?
here's a fun.
Maybe he's just not for me, which is fine,
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean,
good.
he does like take
I mean, but he has
long
a. You
movies.
know what? Now I will let me not speak that ill of him, but now knowing that I've seen another movie of his, I I do appreciate that he has a certain style. I
Oh yeah,
like when
for
directors
sure.
have a very distinct style. So
Yeah, yeah,
whatever that
his
means to
yeah,
you.
I get that.
Sorry, go on.
Um, so the final scene was done after 74 takes. So just to speak on like the one in the snow where he says I'm
Yeah.
cured. 74 takes. Ridiculous for that. That's like I remember reading one of them. It's like one of the female actors like why wouldn't you want to do this promptly? Like all of the assault scenes like
Oh,
Why would you
even
not?
those he did multiple takes?
I mean, the last one is a sex scene.
I know. But I hope she got paid hourly for that shit.
Uh,
Probably not.
so the film was released just over a year after principal photography began.
Okay.
It's the fastest film shot, edited, and released by Stanley Kubrick. So he did a lot of the editing, I think, but before because his original take
Explains a lot.
was 4
Yeah.
hours, and just more
You know
on the
what? Release
editing. He
the
was afraid.
Kubrick cut. I don't know why the fuck I can't say his name, but it's fine.
Release the Kubrick.
Kubrick. It's a. How do you say it?
I don't. It's Kubrick or
Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Why am
I
I
don't know.
saying Kubrick? Sorry, go on. I'm sorry.
I'm saying Kubrick. I'm just kind of changing because I have no idea. We just call him Stan.
Stan, the man.
So he was afraid that theater owners would edit the movie, so every week the reels would exchange for a clean, expected copy.
Okay.
That's some dedication to his. I guess I don't know.
Don't call it a craft, please.
No, I was gonna say
His art.
to his movie,
Mm-hmm.
to his work of art. I don't know. So this is one of the only two movies rated X on its original release to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Was it really?
Yeah. The other being Midnight Cowboy, which came out in 1969. I don't want to read that one. That one's lame. Okay. So the last two, I'll save the last one for. That one's wild.
Okay.
But it's based on Anthony Burgess. Burgess, right?
Burgess, yeah.
Burgess. Because he wrote the movie or the
book.
book that this is based
Mhm.
off of. So he was raised a strict Roman Catholic.
Explains a lot.
And he originally wrote his novel as a parable about Christian free will and forgiveness. His take on it was that to be a true Christian, one had to forgive the most horrifying of acts. Something he knew only too well, having seen his wife be assaulted by and beaten by American soldiers during World War II.
He did?
This attack This attack resulted in a miscarriage and a lifetime of gynecological
Gynecological.
gynecological troubles for his wife. Yeah. I, I like I'm saying, a lot of these fun facts just opened up so much to the movie
Okay.
because
That's, I
yeah.
mean, that's the direct storyline, isn't it? I mean, she died, though.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
the last one on a sorry to almost ended on a pretty sad note, but this one's pretty funny. Anthony Burgess originally sold the movie rights to Mick Jagger
Oh my
for
god.
$500 when he needed quick cash. Jagger intended to make it with the Rolling Stones as the Droogs, but then resold the rights for a much larger amount.
I want to see that. I feel like that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, Tim Curry and Jeremy Irons turned on the role of Alex.
Ooh, Tim Curry.
But it was
Really
like
good.
before Stanley Kubrick was gonna be the director.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Russell was gonna be nominated to direct. I don't know who that is, but Kubrick said if Malcolm McDowell hadn't been available, I probably wouldn't have made the film.
I think I saw
So
somewhere that the author of the novel said that he or maybe it was Stanley, but I thought he said that the only person he could picture doing it was Malcolm McDowell. And that one
oh really?
I don't know if it was when he wrote it he pictured him, but I think he said that that's the only person he wanted to play him.
As
Mhm.
Alex?
Oh, that is really sad
then
about I mean hmm.
yeah. So I guess it's just like a one long thing about just the release. Author Anthony Burgess initially distrusted Kubrick as a director, but was happy with the results. He felt the film later made the book, one of his least favorite books he had written, overshadow his other work.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm trying to make a short film just about some stuff that I've experienced during the
Hmm.
pandemic, and I feel like I'm exposing so much of myself, even though it's exposing such a tiny amount. And for the author to like use that such a
Yeah.
traumatic experience, and I mean he's not the only one. Like there's so many people who use their traumatic experiences. I just mad props.
Yeah,
Like
that I mean
nothing
that
but
does
respect for
change. I mean, because that like brings a lot of that brings so much more meaning to me, especially because he specified that it was military that did it.
yeah.
And that makes sense about the whole but like it's not in the movie to me
To,
though.
yeah.
But I mean, I
I
see
don't
why
know.
that would be lost in the translation of him not writing the screenplay, but like yeah, I mean, if there was a personal aspect to it, I mean, I'm assuming the book is better at this, but like, it just it doesn't. It feels like it's disconnected from that. It didn't feel like it was written by somebody that has dealt with something like this.
Yeah. Just if I see what you mean, where it just felt like it was just because.
Yeah,
Huh.
interesting.
Those fun facts, I think, help me appreciate the movie and your discussion as well.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it
Ultimately,
more now. I mean, I don't like it still,
yeah, fair.
but again, if you feel like you are obligated to talk to us about it, then please do,
Join
because
our Discord. We'll talk about it.
I'm down to as long as everybody's respectful. But yeah,
Fair enough.
all right. Not I mean, I'm glad we've seen it. So I guess because it was my one of my picks in the whole like series of watching classics that we've never seen. I'm glad I've seen it, I guess, to have an
Yeah,
opinion on it. But this is
it's
kind of
it's
why this
definitely
is the one of the reasons why I've been avoiding watching movies like this is because I know I kind of knew maybe not this specific one, but I know there's going to be movies that people love that I'm not going to like. And people just
yeah.
have, I don't know if you've experienced that, but some people get very upset. I don't know why, but some people get very upset when you don't agree with them on certain movies.
I don't know. I think I say this a lot, but I think this is a really good episode because it raised. I don't know. I think we had a really good discussion about the
Yeah,
movie. So, and if anyone's upset with that, then I don't know. I'm happy with this.
same. All right, ready for me to destroy you yet again?
Yup. Let's do it. Family tree time.
All
So,
right.
who do you have?
One and only Malcolm McDowell.
Nice. Who are you gonna pick next episode?
I'll find somebody. Just do your research, my
I
boy.
I picked Chris Rock.
Okay.
So,
All right.
let's get to it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I lost.
Surprise, surprise.
So let's just go through
Let's
where
get
I
through. Oh, I
messed
need
up.
to pick out a movie for you.
Yeah, while you do that. So I picked Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock is in Grown Ups with Adam Sandler.
I feel like you always bring up Adam Sandler. Is that not true? Or at
Why
least
not?
you used Grown Ups like twice already.
I that's a sin right there. Only using Grown Ups twice. I need to use it more. I don't know. It's just like it's just what comes to my mind. It's weird.
Okay.
Um, and then somehow I was gonna connect Adam Sandler to Ryan Gosling,
Ooh.
who is in La La Land with Emma
Uh-huh.
Stone, and Emma Stone is in Easy A with Malcolm McDowell. He's the principal.
Yep.
He's such a principal.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he, at least,
If there ever was one.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and a way to connect Ryan Gosling to Adam Sandler.
to Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler was in. What is Ryan Gosling in?
I was trying to do like Crazy Stupid Love, Steve
Ooh.
Carell, but I didn't know. I feel like it would have been even more lost getting Steve Carell over.
Or you could do Julianne, or what's her, not Julianne Margulies. What's her name? What's the girl's name? What's the woman's name in it? What's her name?
Yeah,
Juliana, Julia. What the fuck is her name? The mom in Crazy Stupid Love. Am I dumb? What the fuck is her name?
I'm about to pull it up. Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore. Okay, I thought I was going insane. She's in something with him.
Oh, Kevin Bacon's in Crazy Stupid Love.
Ooh.
We have yet to use Kevin Bacon, and
Oh yeah. We should try to avoid it.
avoid Kevin Bacon at all times.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Huh.
That's what I tried to do.
I'll think about that, or maybe somebody will text us. All right. So I had the same idea that you did. So I did Malcolm McDowell to Easy A. Or whoa. Let me do that again. Malcolm McDowell is in Easy A with Emma Stone. Emma Stone is in Zombieland with Jesse Eisenberg.
Bro.
Do you see where that's going or no?
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg is in The Social Network with Max Minghella. I think that's how you say his name. Max Minghella is in Spiral with Chris Rock. That's how you say his name, right? I think I spelled it right, but I probably didn't say it right.
Minghella. Wow.
That's in 4, folks. Oh, we had kind of had like a weird cutout, so I don't know if I'll say this again just in case you didn't get it. But I just want to make it clear that I don't cheat. I don't map these out beforehand. The most I do is whoever I pick, if I don't know any movie off the top of my head, I just research. I literally just search their name and I find one movie that I know of theirs and I just choose that. And so for this one, I think you did the same thing where it was Easy A.
And for those who are on Team Anthony, and I keep on letting you down every week because like there's bound
Get
to
used
be.
to losing.
No, it's just ever since Livia switched to picking old
Oh
movies.
my god.
I'm just saying it's a trend that I noticed, and I will be better.
Okay, but how many times had you won before that? Like twice.
I don't know. Team Anthony, tweet me. Hashtag Team Anthony.
Oh my god.
Or Team Bro. Team Bro and Team Sis.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Ooh.
Yeah, so what am I gonna watch?
But it depends if you haven't seen this movie. But because you brought up Ryan Gosling, have you seen Lars and the Real Girl?
Yeah.
Real Girl? You have? God damn it. Okay.
That's a funny movie. I can watch it again. I love that movie.
No. I need you to see a
He's
new one.
great in that.
Oh, I fucking love it. I think that's my favorite movie of his.
Yeah,
Oh, I know exactly what I want you to watch.
Okay.
All right. So there's a movie that is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's so dumb. And I own the DVD of it. It's on HBO Max. And it's called Music and Lyrics. It has Drew Barrymore and what the fuck is his name? Hugh
Grant.
Hugh Grant. Those are the love interests. So that's all you need to know.
Oh.
I will say it has 2 of my favorite, like, songs that are made for movies. It has 2 of my absolute favorite songs that are made for a movie.
I feel like I've seen a part of this movie. The clip where they're both singing.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that clip, I think.
But the song that they
the
make,
synopsis.
I need you to tell me the very first song you hear, that's the one I'm talking about, and then the song that they make and it plays at the end.
Okay.
Those are fucking bangers. They're so good.
So it's a romantic, or it's a rom-com. That's weird because the synopsis is a washed-up singer is given a couple of days to compose a chart-topping hit for an aspiring teen sensation. So I assume Hugh Grant is the washed-up singer.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Barrymore is the aspiring teen sensation. Why would?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You'll learn.
Then, I guess I will.
They do write the song together before somebody else.
I see. Okay. Because I was like, why is he falling in love?
Wacky rom-com ensues. Sorry?
Against all odds, they find love.
You know what? He was made to be in rom-coms.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
What? Like what?
I was gonna say he was made for. What's the other one? I already forgot the name. I was gonna say he's made for the holiday one,
The holiday one.
like
Oh,
the famous one. The like most. Someone's yelling at the screen
Love
right now.
Christmas. Christmas.
Love
Last
Actually.
Christmas. Love Actually.
Love Christmas. Signed Christmas.
I
He was
got you
made for
there.
Love Actually. He was made for Love Actually.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
one. Like
Oh, I'm
that's
not.
like one of those holy grails to use to connect because it has like so many
Yeah,
people in
because
it.
everyone.
All right, what are we watching? What are we watching? So that's what you're watching
Yeah. I'll watch that. That's my
to
parents.
pay for your sins.
Yeah.
But what are we
So
watching?
we will watch the Snyder cut of.
No.
No.
Every time I fucking believe you.
Of
Wait.
not
Oh.
Iron Man. Army of Dead.
You did say this to me and I totally forgot.
The one that came out actually today, day before my birthday, or yesterday. Probably yesterday.
Army, what is it called?
Army of Dead. It's on Netflix. I started watching it, and I'm very interested. He has his own. Like I don't want to spoil too much. We'll get into it. I'll talk about Zach's style probably.
Oh God, Zach. My boy Zach.
My boy Zach.
I think that's what we should do from now on. Is the directors we should just call them by their first name.
By the first name, yeah.
Yeah.
Go check out my boy Zach's movie. His latest movie.
My good friend, like what people on talk shows do. Where I'm like, they say that every time. Are they actually friends? They're like, my good friend Lady Gaga. Like, you're not good friends with her.
No one's
Jimmy
good friends with
Fallon.
Lady
You're not good
Gaga.
friends with her. She would not want to hang out with you.
Yeah, no one's good friends. It has the sister from
What?
Nacho Libre. The actor.
Oh.
Actress.
Okay.
She's in it.
All right.
Army of the Dead.
Netflix.
All right.
Episode
Episode 79. We're coming kind of close to 100. Slowly getting there. I mean,
it'll be like what? It'll be like October.
Yeah, why not? We're getting there.
I know. Sorry, that's mean. What are we gonna do for our 100th?
Ended. I don't know. We gotta do something.
We should watch like Tenet or something.
Tenet and then like restart. We'll start inverting. So we'll go back, like whatever the 99th. We'll do that movie at 101 and then end it at Creep or Stuber. And I'll go back. It all goes back to Stuber.
It all goes back, and you know what we always say? It all goes back to Stuber. Good night, folks.
That's the pincher move or whatever he says.
What?
I don't know. Whatever.
What the fuck are you talking about? Just end it, please.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.